Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a great video here. I'm going to be talking about Kodak Black in prison because I read some things in the paper and I had to come on and make a video about this. Let me jump right into the Kodak Black incident. If anybody doesn't know who Kodak Black is a young rapper. He's 23 years old. He's from Pompano Beach, Florida, from where I was really running my crew and everything. Matter of fact, he went to the same school, or he knew the same people or the stuff of my daughter. So I don't know if he used to come to the school or something like that. But anyway, they're from Pompano Beach, Florida, as where I'm from to a degree, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano. And Kodak Black's from there as well. He's a rapper. He ends up going to jail for a gun charge. He gets 46 months, mind you. 46 months. I got almost more whole time than 46 months. So only 46 months. We're talking under 4 years. I got over 3 years in the hole. So he's under 4 years as a sentence. Well, what do they do to him? They put him in Miami. He gets into a fight. Things happen. Obviously, especially as a celebrity or somebody like that, you're going to be tried. You got to stick up for what you're going to do, and you do it. And what do? They end up, a guard gets injured in the fight he was in. I don't know how the guard got injured or whatever happens, but boy, it's over then. Because what they did then is they sent him to Big Sandy, Kentucky. Big Sandy's a penitentiary in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. It's in Inez, I think it's Inez, Kentucky. It's a little town, whatever it is, but it's the big place there. It's a maximum security prison. It's like Atlanta was, and Lewisburg was, and Leavenworth, those kind of places. Lompoc, they have penitentiaries. Well, Big Sandy was a penitentiary, or is a penitentiary. So Kodak Black, with 46 months, gets sent to the penitentiary. Well, guess what happens when you go to a penitentiary? First of all, there's a lawsuit he just filed, and that's what I want to talk about. He filed a lawsuit against the Bureau of Prison. Boy, did I file lawsuits against the Bureau of Prison. You all know that. Because what happens in prison is, listen, he alleges this, and again, I'm saying alleging, but I believe him. He's being strapped down naked. Strapped down naked. Trust me, I know what that is. It's called four-pointing. I get the chills, man. I get the chills when I think about being four-pointed. Because I was four-pointed. In my case, the guards took out their penis and peed on me and spit on me, and they were just scumbags. But listen to me, I'm gonna be bringing a guard on who I was in prison with in Jessup, and his brother was in Edgefield where I went, and they tried to look out for me, but as he said, they couldn't, because when you allegedly or you do something against a staff member, that follows you. You're gonna be messed with whatever prison you go. So as Kodak Black's being four-pointed, it's something that boggles my mind why they still do it, and they do it. Like I said, when I was in Jessup and I assaulted a unit manager who everybody hated, and you're going to hear about that from a guest I'm coming having on the show soon. But listen, they don't fuck with you. They don't just fuck with you. It must be in your records, and I'm going to find out how that is. But they mess with you hard, and you know, feeling so bad for this kid because he defecated, and believe me, the humiliation that I felt, and it took me, and I'm not kidding you, it took me about 5 years before I said I wouldn't kill those people. I said that 5 years before I said I wouldn't kill them in my own head. I said, man, how messed up is there? Here's how I look at it now. The people who abuse me, I look at it as how messed up is their life if they got to abuse a man when he's in the lowest part of his life. You're talking about men who took out their penis and pissed on me. You're talking about men who spit on me. You're talking about people who, I don't know how they go home to their families and say, oh, like I'm a good guy or I did the right thing. I don't get that, and I won't ever get that. But now I'm past the hate aspect in my life. I don't hate anymore. I really don't. It's you know why? Because hate is an emotion that's just going to kill you. But don't think I don't want to fight for the right things. Don't think I want to fight for justice. You know I do. Don't think that I don't feel for this Kodak Black now. He's 23 years old. He's a fucking kid. You know, he's 23 years old, and what they're putting that kid through is traumatizing. And I'm telling you, I don't care who he is, where he comes from. You know, again, maybe it's a little bit more of something I feel for because he comes from my neighborhood. And, you know, he built himself up. He became a rap star. I mean, you know, you don't just become a rap star. You love your craft. You keep doing your craft. You'll learn your craft. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's YouTube or being a rapper or being a singer or an actor or whatever it is, whatever craft you're doing. Well, anyway, these guys, you know, and in this lawsuit, his lawyer is a guy named Brad Cohen, who I got to know. And Brad's a great guy, great lawyer, so he wouldn't put in a lawsuit that's just bullshit. you know, and I think they're going to be able to prove it, and I'll tell you how they can prove it. All they got to do is prove deliberate indifference. Deliberate indifference is meaning they know how bad the situation is there, and they keep letting it go on. So once you could pass that hurdle of deliberate indifference, you know, you're going to go to a trial with these people, and then they're going to lose, because how many more times are they doing that to other people? You know, I helped a lawyer in Central Florida win a case, and it was a case against a young man who was abused in a state prison. And they ended up proving how the exact same incident, and the incident was the kid had a broom handle inserted in his rectum, and he got messed up, not only in the head, he got messed up physically in his body. And well, as I talked to the lawyers and I helped them and stuff, I said, listen, the first thing you got to do is you got to find out how many times has this happened before. It happened in a closet, like a where you put the mops and stuff like that, you know, whatever you want to call it, storage closet. And I said, how many times did this happen before? And they pulled the records. And the records happened so many times. It happened, I don't know, 6 or 7 times where the prison knew about what was going on and they let it go on. How much does the administration of Big Sandy know that the abuses of this kid, Kodak Black, are going on? I think more. I think they know about it. I hope there's more lawsuits filed. The more they know about that, even this lawsuit. Let's face it, if the lawsuit goes nowhere, it's a good thing to do, because what it does is it puts the prison on notice that they're being sued for abuses. And you know, the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution, I don't know if anybody in this channel knows what it is. It is cruel and unusual punishment. And trust me, being strapped down, 4-pointed well, I was naked when they did mine, but with him they put him in a gown, which you know, I'm lucky they even did that. Of course, it's an open gang. His ass is on the slab, and he had to go to the bath. They don't give a fuck about you, and they're supposed to watch you. They're supposed to do something. I can't even. I'm getting chills. I really am. I'm thinking about that kid struggling those chains. And I mean, you want to talk about being oppressed? I mean, it's just so wrong what we're doing. Now people are going to say, some people come, what do we do if people are out of hand or out of control? Listen to me. I don't know any person you can't put them in a cell and get them in control, because they have what they call dry cells. They have cells that are just 4 walls and concrete. Go in there. What's going to happen to him? He's got to calm down. Everybody does. It takes time. People has to process things in their brain differently. There's no way, there's no excuse for doing that except control and power, and we're in charge. Don't fuck with us. And that's what they did to that kid. He went to Big Sandy. They said, oh, you think you're going to be a big shot in this prison? Man, they don't give a fuck who you are. And that's what's sad. And here's a kid who's really a kid. Again, 23 years old. Listen, I was abused at about 40 years old. And, you know, listen to me, it's something that's living with me for the rest of my life. And I'm sure it's going to live with this kid, Kodak Black, for the rest of his life. And he should be suing him. And he should keep pushing it. And the lawyers will get any help from me they can, because I could tell you how the process works, all the bullshit, the BPs, but they went right into federal court. They're filing what they call a 1983. Which is a Bivens Act, which is it's cruel and unusual punishment in the prison system. And I hope and pray to keep pushing it, because there's no doubt in my mind the way he described what happened exactly. I read in the media, it happened just like that. You know, guards say, I didn't do this. You know, it's so funny, because whenever they say that, I ask them, where's the cameras? Or, you know, you always wondered why they didn't have cameras in certain areas in prison. They don't have cameras in prisons, not for privacy of an inmate, because you get no privacy. They'll watch you shit, jack off, do anything you want. They'll watch you right in your face. It's not about privacy. They do it so they have blind spots so they can beat your ass, so they can mess with you. That's how the prison system works. You know, cameras are so cheap today. There's no question they should have cameras everywhere in a prison. And then when those cameras don't show up, what happens? I'm dealing with a case in the county I'm living in. You all know about it. The Brevard County Jail won't release a video of a veteran that was killed in the jail. They won't release the video. Now, what does that tell you? I mean, listen, they all say nothing happened. It was a perfect beating, or the guy just happened to die, or whatever it is. But all of a sudden, they won't release the video. I don't get that. It just blows my mind why you won't do that. And it blows my mind in Big Sandy why they're not going to have film of everything that happened. And when he shit on himself and he pissed on himself, are they going to have that on camera? And are they going to show that to the public? Because if they show that to the public and they show that to a jury, they're going to say, wait a minute, there's something wrong with this system. We shouldn't be running an abusive system. You know, I love the word. Oh, this is the Department of Corrections. What the fuck are you correcting? You're not correcting bad behavior by doing bad behavior on people. You're not stopping violence or correcting violence by beating people and putting violence on them. So don't talk to me about the Department of Corrections. How about the Department of fuck you? Now listen, there are people on this channel and people everywhere are going to say, you know, he deserved it. He should listen more. He do this. You get people like that, and I say, where do you think your rights are? Where do you think your civil liberties are? Do you think you have them? If you have to be like that, and you don't think people should be held to a standard of whatever standard, whether it's a person who's mentally ill or a person who just can't control it, because until you've been in a situation like that, you don't know what the fuck you do. Because I'll tell you what, once you put handcuffs on a person, it's a whole different ballgame, and you don't know what goes through your mind. And that happened to that veteran, and it kind of gets me mad because people start saying, oh, you know, they deserve it, this person deserves it, he did commit a crime. Absolutely. Punishment is away from your family, taking whatever finances they take away from you. A whole bunch of penalties they give you, you know, we agreed to. Do I think the United States is the most harshest system in the world? Absolutely. They don't think about helping people. All they do is think about is punishing people. You know, they've taken the rehabilitation out of rehabilitation. And Kodak Black is a young kid now that's going to be scarred for life. No question about that. Kodak Black will be scarred for life. Now, I hope he comes out. I hope I can talk to him. I hope he, you know, reaches out to the right people and gets, you know, the help. And what I mean by the help, I don't mean just, hey, you're all right, man. Hey, homie, let's go hang. No, I'm talking about the mental help you're going to need. I don't care who you are. You need that mental help no matter what. And I want his lawyer to know, you know, he's got people out here. He's got people watching this. And I'll tell you what, this is a sad, sad case. And I hope and pray that they keep fighting and everything that happened. Trust me, a man being strapped down naked for 6 hours and pissing and shitting on himself is not right. I don't care what you tell me. It's not right. And, you know, kind of gets me upset sometimes. But, you know, I look at life in a whole different light. And I'm a law-abiding citizen, believe me. It's not even that, but I know I made my mistakes. I know where people are, and I know a lot of people out there made mistakes. Here's a kid who's 23 years old right now. He's sitting in a cell, probably in isolation, which is I think one of the most brutal and cruel things you can do to a person. Now they got him in isolation. And now when he acts out, whether he floods his cell, whether he curses, bangs on the door, does whatever he's going to do in prison, because it's going to happen, because you will start going crazy in prison. And they're going to then come in and they're going to take him out and they're going to 4-point him and they're going to let him defecate on himself. And it's going to happen over and over again. You know, the only thing I hope, and I don't know if Kodak Black can ever get this message, and I hope he does. The only way I started winning and started getting the attention of people was by filing lawsuits and keeping on, whether it's the media as well. Back when I was in prison, you guys can look up an article called Abu Ghraib. I compared Edgefield Federal Prison to Abu Ghraib Prison, which was a prison in Iraq where they were torturing inmates. So I compared that I called it the American Abu Ghraib. And I think about this now with this young kid, that he's being put in this place, in a cell, in such a bad spot in his life. I mean, you know, is the kid really that bad? He's a rap artist. I mean, do I think people should get breaks? Do I think people should obviously get a pass for doing something stupid? Yes, consequence happened. But, you know, the consequence has to be equal to whatever you did. Listen, and if a celebrity goes to prison, and he's a rapper too, you don't think he's going to be tried? He's going to be tried so much. Now he's going to have the people that come up to him and want to be their friend and all that, but he's going to be tried. There's going to be dudes that come up to him. Now he's in a prison. They don't give a fuck. People in that prison, the inmates in that prison, a lot of them have life sentences, never ever getting out of prison. They don't give a fuck who Kodak Black is, Larry Lawton is. They don't care who anybody is. They are who they are. They are a person who has nothing to lose in life, and they will make a name for themselves. Whitey Bulger. Anybody knows that name? If you want to look that up on his channel, Whitey Bulger was the dude who was a mobster in Boston. He ended up being a big federal agent. He ends up going to a federal prison. And when he gets to the prison, within 24 hours, they took and they stabbed his eye. They stabbed his eye out, and they were cutting his tongue out in the prison within 24 hours of him hitting the compound in the United States Penitentiary. Listen, I lived them. I've been there. And I do feel bad for this kid, Kodak Black. I hope his lawyer keeps fighting. I hope the lawyer gets more than just a lawsuit going. I hope he gets the media. I hope he gets people like me and other people on this cause. Because, listen, I know exactly what's happening to that kid. Because I'll tell you what, it happened to me. And I was strapped down naked, beaten, tortured, and pissed on and spit on by guards. So those scumbags are, I don't know how they live with themselves, but they do. I'm sure they justify it. Oh, Lawton's a scumbag. Lawton did this to somebody. Lawton wants to ruin all of our jobs. Whatever brainwashed they are. However brainwashed they are. Do you think, there's a reason that guards have one of the highest suicide rates of any profession. Because I don't know how they go home. That's why they all stay together. A lot of them have drug problems. A lot of them have alcoholic problems. Because they know they're doing wrong things. They know there's people in there who don't belong in that prison. They know when they go home and they hear a sound or something and there's somebody getting raped in a fucking cell. They know that. They know what's going on in prison. Do they want to stop it? I don't know how much anybody wants to stop it in prison. Because it's a big money machine, and we're going to get into that. You can't tell me prison isn't all about money and the towns they go in and the companies that come in there. It's a big, big economic boom to a town to have a prison. But what a fucking way to make money on the misery and hardships of a fellow American. Even the fucking scumbags. But how many people in there do you think are not? They're just like you. Anybody out there. All the guys watching my channel. All the kids that are watching and make mistakes. I don't want you to think it's all right to make a mistake, guys. Anybody young out there, please don't even think what I ever say is to do a crime or do anything like that. I paid dearly for it. But if you make your mistake, you shouldn't be treated where your life is over. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. And I'm a big believer in that. And what's happening to Kodak Black shouldn't happen. You got to understand that. It should not happen. But sadly, I hope this BOP answers this, and I hope I could become a witness or whatever you want. Listen, I'm an expert on prisons, and I could tell you the way they write it, what they say, how they do it, if it's true, because I lived it. I'm not one of these guards that say, oh, this didn't happen, that. I know when they spit in my food, and I had to take a gob of spit out of the potatoes and eat it because I was so hungry, because I was in the hole. And they only fed us twice that day because they had an emergency, or they had some very emergency on the compound or in the unit or whatever it was, and they couldn't feed us. Oh yeah, you'll file on them, you'll put a BP8, you'll do this, you'll sue. It don't mean shit. It's terrible. But Kodak Black might have a name enough to expose what goes on in prison, and I'm here to help him. All right, everybody, I think I rambled enough because I'm just so pissed about this incident. But I'll tell you what, man, please join my action crew. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Check out my book, because in my book I talk a lot about abuses that go on in prison. So check that book out as well. Pass the word, man. Join the action crew. We need your help. Thanks, everybody. Much love, much respect. You guys know how much I really respect you and love you. And I mean that. This is my YouTube family. Take care, guys.